I think there is no doubt that when history is written, Sofagate is going to be seen as significantly more important, if a little bit harder to define, than Partygate. And why is that? Because of the parallels. The parallel between Boris now and Clinton is unmistakable. And I think it's interesting that Carrie has now married Boris and sort of rehabilitated in a way that Monica Lewinsky never was. Monica Lewinsky had a very bad deal for her moment of service in the Oval Office, and Carrie seems to manage that all rather well. Is that about changing times, or about the brilliance of Carrie? I have no idea. However, even though there is something positive to take out of this, even though we can look beyond the grimy, the shoddy, the soiled reality, I think I think we should focus a little on the positives. The most positive message that I can get out of this is that Boris has a disdain for his environment, and that must be good. Boris is never going to change. Boris is no snob. Boris is going to behave the same way whether he's in Buckingham Palace or in a lad's hangout. Boris is Boris. Now that must be positive. There's nothing worse than somebody who changes their clothes and their attitude simply because of the company. We want consistency, and we're going to get it with Boris. It's not necessarily the consistency that we would expect, the sort of consistency we would expect from the Prime Minister, but it's a starting point. It's a starting point. Now, I think we could have said the same thing about Mrs. Thatcher. Not on the same sofa, but or in the same position. We could also say the same thing about someone like Putin, oddly. We're always going to get the same thing wherever he is. And with that in mind, I think it's very interesting, Boris's comment that had Russia got a woman as president, we wouldn't have got this testosterone-driven war. I think he's wrong. I think he's completely wrong. I think it's also a slightly sexist comment. But lying underneath it is a very interesting idea. I think Boris, if Boris really wants to put his money where his mouth is, then he's going to resign and in favour of a woman MP. But what worries me is which women are available. Priti Patel, Liz Truss, Nadine Dorries, or Carrie. Mr. Putin, is Mr. Putin going to be found in the same sort of Sofagate situation? Well, certainly not sitting down. But I don't think Mr. Putin would be in that position. There was a biography written about him a while ago which said that Putin was more interested in his dogs than in people. So I don't think it's gender. I think it's an ability to deal with humanity. And Boris, for all his failings, actually does have a rapport with ordinary people. And Putin doesn't. What else can we say about that? Nothing really. A link between Boris and Putin. We could consider Trump the man made by reality TV. But Trump, the sort of things which were overheard while Trump was presiding over the apprentice were shocking. And people don't change. And so as far as Sofagate is concerned, none of that comes as a surprise to me. It seems shocking, but it's not a surprise. I think that's probably where we leave it.